Good to see you, lad. Good day to you.
What do you have for sale?
Well, I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Here you go. Take it.
Excuse me. What are you doing?
Hey, warum liegst du da?
Hey!
I apologize.
Wake up!
You said you needed some help with something. What's going on?
Something's happened. Oh, a real mess. And I need help from someone reliable.
What is it?
When I was fishing around for information about Liechtenstein, I cast the net a bit too wide. And one of the servant girls I questioned was just found dead.
You think she was killed because of you?
I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you for help.
I'll help you. Tell me all about it. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She was an ordinary, pretty girl. She worked as a maid. I heard they found her all hacked up, tossed somewhere by the town wall. Oh, folk in town are saying it was absolute slaughter. They took the body to the morgue by the St. Peter and St. Paul cemetery.
I'll go take a look at her. See if I can find anything.
I think that would be for the best. Though, I don't think it'll be a very pretty sight. You can ask the gravedigger for details. He'll know the most.
When did you last see the girl?
Around a week ago?
And did you notice anything suspicious about her?
Not at all. She was always cheerful, lively. She was looking forward to a dance. Though I'm afraid she won't be dancing ever again.
What was Alice trying to find out for you?
She always brought me the freshest gossip overheard from her master. And lately, what the other maids in town were saying.
And did you learn anything important from her? Something someone would kill her for?
That's the thing. All she brought me was gossip. Who was cheating on who wasn't going to confession, those sorts of things. So you'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
What about your other girls? Are they alright?
Yes, fortunately. I'm careful enough to keep them pretty much in the dark about my plans. That's why Alice's death shocked me so much.
What are you gonna do next?
I'd like to ask the others if they noticed anything suspicious. If someone is following them and the like, but...
But you don't want to scare them?
I'm scared myself. For them. Maybe nobody knows about them yet. If someone was to follow me, I could give them away. And I can't risk that. I don't want anyone else to die because of me.
What if I go and see them?
They don't know you, Henry. You'd only scare them. I'll figure something out. In the meantime, find out everything you can about Alice.
Do you think there could be something bigger behind the murder?
I don't know. Maybe she just got caught up in something. But it's strange. Why would someone do her like that? That's the kind of thing you do when you want to send someone a message.
Why did you ask me in particular for help?
Because you're the only one I know here.
Aha.
But don't take it the wrong way. I'm actually glad it's you. You're pretty reliable. Not even Zhishka would be of much help to me here.
Aha. Thanks. I know everything I need.
Good. Go to that graveyard, talk to the gravedigger, and take a look at that poor girl's body. In the meantime, I'll try to find out more. Then we'll put it all together, and I'll be damned if we can't come up with something.
What's the hold-up, innkeeper?
One beer.
I'm sorry.
God be with you.
I'll have a look at...
Doesn't stand a chance. Conrad wins every time. Just look at him. He can cut you in half.
A young fella, but they say no one stands a chance against him because he's in league with the devil.
Dare stand against the devil. Who is it?
A jug of wine, thanks!
Bloody hell, what was it? A young fella. Ganya? The bishop? Something starting with a Z.
Here you go. Take it.
You have a kind master, hey, Tuggy?
Good day to you. What brings you here?
I would like to atone for my...
I appreciate your efforts, but I'd rather have real sinners.
There's always something to repent.
Not far from Horshan. I'm not at all pleased with the heathen name. We must prove that it hasn't pray over the spring.
What penance do you give?
Bless yourself, and say the Lord's
Time to go.
till we meet again.
Good evening. You need something?
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František. At least them that can speak do.
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
I hear there was a murder here recently. Some young girl?
True. True. She's lying in the morgue. But who the hell are you? Another gawker?
Another? Why would anybody come to look at her?
People ain't got no respect. As soon as news spread about what was done to her, folk are always turning up to have a gawk. So if you ain't one of them gawkers, you must be one of them other types. Well, no, you can't shave her. No, no thumb for a souvenir.
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
I'm in service of the Lords of Lipa. I'm to find out who was responsible for this murder.
What do the Lords of Lipa care about a dead girl?
Truth be told, not much. But it's at the request of her master.
Ah, that makes more sense. At least someone is trying to sort this out. The others weren't so lucky. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And who is this Lumiere?
He used to work for the local bailiff. I think he knew the first one what was killed, but that was a long time ago.
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you.
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle, though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
It's my pleasure, especially helping someone from the land of the living again. Actually, wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
And do you know where I could find her?
She said she serves in one of the burgers' houses. So either there or in the morgue with that poor dead girl.
Thanks again, Master Gravedigger.
Farewell, my friend.
So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place I found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. What if the murderer kept her hair like some kind of sick trophy? Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair. Somebody mutilated her and left her lying there as a warning. But for whom? Probably for someone who knows they're doing something wrong. Maybe Catherine is right, and they did it because of her.
Blessings to you. What are you doing here? That's it. Go now.
Big city. There's no place like it.
Damn mutt. Pull back that door.
It's almost ready.
Are you Barbara? I'm told you knew Alice.
Alice? Aye. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Oh, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
No, he couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
I heard about that. And also about Lumir.
Well, if you're interested, go and see him. Maybe you'll catch him sober enough to talk sense.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely, but she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day she just didn't come home. And then I found her. Like this.
It's awful what they did to her.
She was such a pretty girl. And that beautiful brown hair of hers. And it didn't even leave that untouched. Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of it makes sense.
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now.
Get out!
What? You can't be here.
What's that noise?
Hi, that's right. Just go away.
That's it. Go now.
Jesus Christ be praised.
This is the place. There's a lot of blood and some footprints. I'm not sure how much more I'll be able to find. Christ, that's a lot of blood. But after seeing what they did to the girl, I'm not surprised. I can't make anything out of this. The whole town's been walking around here. There could have been one killer or a dozen. I'm surprised I haven't completely trampled out the blood. It's hard to make out, but I think I see some slashing from a blade. I'm not sure I'll be able to find any remains. I wonder what happened to them. So, there's still a lot of blood left, but I expected even more. I found some faint blade marks. Either the others were trampled out, or someone skilled was wielding it. It didn't look to me like any remains were left lying around. I've no idea what he did with them. Did he keep them or throw them away? You silly nuts.
One more word about my mop.
What's going on here?
These two fuckers turfed me out of the tavern.
Who are you calling a fucker, you drunkard?
It's always the same with that fella. He drinks one too many, makes a racket and starts looking for a fight.
Let the guards give him what for. It's not your problem, is it?
Aye. Only he's supposed to be marrying my sister in the morning.
Pissed as a newt.
Fuck you! You're just pissed off that they didn't give her to you.
Shut up!
Blah. I'm in the right. You're in the shit, and with not a gross into your name.
You're getting married tomorrow in this state? Whatever will the wench think of you?
I'm getting married, even if they have to carry me to the altar.
Poor girl. This sack of shit will be no good for her.
Calm down. Don't forget he's going to be my relative come tomorrow.
What? No good for her? She says she wants a horse. I'll get her a whole stable of them. She says she fancies an apple. I'll buy her an orchard. And when she wants children, then
she'll come to me, because you'll be lying in a drunkard stupor under the table.
Oh, yeah? Come on, then.
You all need to grow up. Fighting here might make you look like tough men. But what about the poor girl? On her wedding day, her groom will be dragged in, bruised and battered by the bailiff, and her brother and his mate will be labelled troublemakers.
I'm not the one causing trouble here.
Everybody get some sleep and let it go.
Let's go, Franta.
Meddler.
Look, we're all fond of Zdenka. We want the best for her. Just each in his own way.
Let's go. Let him be.
What a drunken idiot.
I have a bit of coin again, and I'd like to throw it around.
What game would you like to...
Let's play like priests do.
Let's play.
Pleasant, this is Kingdom Come. This game is awesome. This game is flippin' amazing. Okay. The game is the best. How about now? Is it still screwed up? Dude, my cords or whatever things have been flipping annoying. I don't know. I need to buy like a new mic. I need to buy new cords. Or my camera. I don't know what is wrong. Nonsense. Bull crap. Dude, I'm actually gonna play some SOD here soon. Dude, I think I'm gonna quit Anniversary. I think I'm done. I don't feel like playing it anymore. It's just not the same. My guild died. I joined another guild. They're kind of cool, but like, I'm not tanking anymore. And my other homies left.
Oh, Fortuna, may the best player win.
Sad. That just shows that I'm streaming. It just shows I'm streaming.
Why'd I even start playing?
Freaking.
Let it be now. I want to play too, you know. It's a good thing you don't throw like that all the time.
You're playing dice. And I had the best dice in the game, basically.
My God, why? Why do I even play?
Yeah, best cheating dice. That's how we do it. You find the best dice and you just cheat and win. It's kind of sad that, like, you find things out in this game. Makes me really sad. You just find these little hidden gems and cheats and you just freaking win. Do you hear the cats? Dude, I haven't even beat this game yet. Yeah, it's exactly. I'm like doing every nook and cranny of this game, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm just wrecked with Anniversary. I joined another guild as a DPS warrior, but I'm just like... What's Dark Tide? Is that a game? This guy you talk to.
Lumia?
Oh, Christ, my head. Not so loud.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion. This should sober him up. No, not that. Nothing like a little hair of the dog that bit you.
More booze. Christ. I'm gonna puke.
Drink up. It'll make you feel better.
Better already. Wait! What? Who... What are you doing here? Who are you?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumia from the
Alright, let's take a look at this, because now I'm curious. Is it on Steam? Dark Tide. This game might be fun. This looks pretty fun. Tide. Well, that's pretty cool. I'll watch another
Tide
video.
is a first-person co-op shooter set in the grimdark universe of Warhammer 40,000. Invaded by the traitorous soldiers of the Mobian Sixth, the sprawling hive city of Tertium stands on the brink of destruction. The only thing standing between these chaos-worshipping heretics and victory is the mysterious Inquisitor Grendel and his warband of conscripted convicts. You are one such reject, freed to serve the Emperor's light in this darkest of hours. You can expect no help, no reinforcements. You are Tertium's last line of defense. Your first task is to select your class. You've 4 to choose from. The choice you make will determine your playstyle. Veterans are seasoned soldiers of the Astra Militarum, the famed Imperial Guard, and focus primarily on ranged weapons like lasguns to secure the kill.
I feel like this would be the class I'd
Fueled by holy wrath, zealots prefer to charge headlong into the fray. They are holy warriors who stop at nothing to purge heresy in the Emperor's name. Psychers draw on the unfathomable powers of the warp. But like all great powers, theirs comes with a price. Use their abilities too often, and they may meet an untimely end. What the muscle-bound and simple-minded Ogryns lack in tactical understanding, they more than make up for with prodigious strength and fortitude. Once you've made your choice, it's time to bring your reject to life by choosing their appearance, personality, and backstory. Body type, facial features, hairstyles, and tattoos are all customizable. Every character type also has 3 unique voice profiles, each with an extensive range of lines that will showcase your reject's personality as you play.
Does this place not fill your heart with holy fervor?
Your reject's contribution to the battle for Tertium begins at the mission terminal. Here, you'll choose from an endless stream of missions, some more urgent and perilous than others, each playing a key role in Tertium's survival. Missions require strike teams of 4 operatives. If you're not in a strike team, you'll automatically be matched with others from Grendel's warband when you embark on a mission. A mission's difficulty can vary, so choose wisely from the available options. Dead heroes serve no one. Every mission has a primary objective, which can be anything from retrieving vital supplies to assassinating an arch-heretic. Inquisitor Grendel's trusted servants will update your strike team's progress and goals as you fight your way through the map, offering guidance, new objectives, and occasional praise as the situation merits. Succeed or fail, the end of round will summarize your performance and tally any rewards. To survive in Tertium, players will need to master both melee and ranged combat, switching seamlessly between the two as the need arises. Every encounter pits you against a variety of enemies, each with their own fighting style. It'll be up to you to determine how best to vanquish them using the weapons at your disposal.
This is kind of cool, honestly.
When engaging hand-to-hand,
I like this.
you'll use blocking and shoving to keep your enemies off balance.
What's the best
Then
class?
finish them off with
It
brutal
doesn't matter.
close
I
combat
can play 'em all.
weapons, such as the foe-shredding chainsword or the punishing thunder
So you
hammer.
play this game, right? Pleasant.
Fighting
Sweet.
at range requires
Would
that
you
you
carry
take
me?
full advantage of available cover as you return fire with lasguns, grenades, and psychic
You have
bolts.
to carry me in this
As the
game a
enemy
little bit so I
closes,
understand what I'm
you'll
doing
employ
later.
strafing and dodging, staying one step ahead of the hordes to make sure you're not overwhelmed. No reject can survive alone. Teamwork is everything in Darktide. Work with your strike team or die alone. Your innate toughness, your determination to press on through the pain, recharges when you're near your strike team. If that's not enough to encourage you to stay close to your friends, wandering off risks being punished by foes looking to immobilize or capture stray rejects, such as the slavering Chaos Hound or the Mobian Trapper. Once you fall prey to such enemies, only your teammates can save you.
You'd not leave me there.
Gaining Inquisitor Grendel's favor is no easy task, but a necessary one if you're to survive. Serve diligently, and you will learn new secrets, earn greater responsibilities, and perhaps even become a trusted member of the warband. As you progress through the game and level up your character, you'll choose feats to further customize your unique playstyle. You'll also earn the trust of the warband's tech priest and access to her Shrine of the Omnissiah, where you will customize your weapons using materials collected during your missions. You can upgrade the weapon's rarity or refine its blessings and perks to create the perfect tool for vanquishing heretics. A reject lives or dies by their war gear. Better it's the best it can be. The battle for Tertium is only just beginning. In the coming weeks and months, Darktide's story will expand with seasonal content, bringing new objectives, new maps, new dangers, and new challenges to keep you and the rest of Grendel's warband on your toes. Tertium needs you. The Emperor calls you. Grendel offers you purpose. It's time for the rejects to rise.
House. The scribe.
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumir the Madman.
They say that about you. Why?
Because I was just on some wild goose chase. And what came of it? Absolutely nothing.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumir.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
I need to know the truth. To find the one responsible.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, lad. But it's no use. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Because I'm not stupid, and I notice things. I've successfully solved a murder before.
Is that so? A murder investigation under your belt. And educated and observant, too.
Well, I said I'm not stupid. Not that I'm educated. I can read and write, too. Sometimes even count.
If only more people knew the difference. All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits.
I might.
Yarka was a maid, too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls, Stanya and Dena.
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't found them yet.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
Low key right now, Pleasant. I kind of want to play a little bit of this Kingdom Come, you know? Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking an interest. She was a maid in a German
Just
family.
love me. We'll play again.
By
We'll
all
play.
accounts, she was a pious,
Promise.
polite girl. She was
I
awful as a child.
promise.
The priest from the Church of St. Peter and
Promise.
Paul, Father Prokop, raised her. They found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way from her neck downwards. An awful sight to behold.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. A murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the two girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me, because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. But who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to admit what had become of her.
What about Stanya?
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute called the Hole in the Wall.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out of town.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Only there was a lot of blood. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The Hole is a world of its own, and the people there aren't very forthcoming with information.
Did you suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. Those people have nothing but thievery and deceit in their eyes. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he isn't all that chatty either.
So if I want to learn anything more, I have to ask this Mole in the hole?
Yeah, he still runs the place.
And what about that Zdena? You said her body was never found.
Exactly. But to tell the truth, nobody spent much time looking for it. Besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few weeks since she went missing, but I suppose nobody wanted to do any more digging.
But if her body was never found, how do you know she was killed?
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Maybe the prettiest of them all. Young, beautiful. A real live one. Lively as the devil. She was a thief. A pickpocket. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people and had to get out of town.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming with me?
He might be. You're not known all over town like a catchpole. It's worth a try. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory. That would be a great help.
And what about the other two victims?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a bathhouse maid. They called her Chestnut. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. So I couldn't find out anything more. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maidservant, too. I also talked to her mother. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots of suitors circling around her, but she refused them all. She knew she was pretty and knew she could do better than some farmhand.
You mean she wanted someone higher up?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out who she had her eye on.
Interesting. I'll try to see what else I can find out from the mother. Where can I find her?
In the graveyard, lad. The poor woman died of grief. It's sad to say, but we can't help those two dead girls now. And they can't help us with our investigation either. There's nobody else left who could tell us anything about them.
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead girls to you?
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many long years I was a scribe for Kuttenberg's bailiff. Kuttenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver, silver, silver. Mining it, smelting it, stealing it. There's always something going on. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another, settling their quarrels. Often trivial nonsense.
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords in the city.
Exactly. There are common folk, too. There's a lot more of them, and their troubles are usually more serious. So when one of them came to the bailiff's one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere, I started to deal with it myself. I was pretty good at it, too.
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until recently.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
Did you have any suspects back then?
You can always find some suspect. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And they threw up at the sight. Or fainted.
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act. I'd swear none of them did it.
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here. And I believe they were all murdered by the same killer. Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4, the most recent ones. By now, we won't learn anything about the first 2. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. She was raised by Father Prokop from the Church of St. Peter and Paul. He should know the most about her. The next were Stanya and Zdena. Their bodies weren't found, but we assume they also became victims of the same murderer. They both hung around a tavern they called the Hole in the Wall. Stanya was an alehouse maid, and Zdena a pickpocket. And the last victim is Alice now, also a maid. What they all have in common is that they were young, beautiful, and brunette.
Good. I know everything I need to know.
When you learn something more, stop by and see me. You've aroused a bit of hope in me, lad. I hope you won't disappoint me.
Be careful. Good doggy. Good boy. Huh?
Good day to you. What brings you here?
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first time this has happened.
Another one murdered. May the Lord grant her eternal rest. Why is it you ask?
I fear for my sister. She's also a maid.
Yes. Fear for those close to you is commendable. What would you like to hear?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you? What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka? She was an ordinary girl. She served the von Grahl family.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little girl. Knew her family.
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died, I took care of her.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music.
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
And does anyone else come to mind? No other man spoke with her?
No, absolutely not.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first.
I think I'm going to play Miss of Pandaria. I'm actually pretty excited for that. I'm going to play a Warlock.
Would at least
bring out
everyone
the original
knew
OG
Yarka
Chadgar.
wasn't my own daughter.
White mane.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, When she was smaller, it was fine. But when she grew up a bit, maybe I was too hard on her.
How does that even work? Did you have her with you at the presbytery?
When she was small, I could. But when she grew up, she had to go. It wouldn't look right.
But yeah, I've never played Mists, so I'm kind of excited to try it out. I want to see what it's like.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarko was an orphan, with no family and no possessions. Her only chance of a good life was a good upbringing. And then, a husband. But the more I led her in that direction, the more she resisted me.
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide for her?
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own. More so, since she was my brother's.
But how come?
The church's property.
Alright, thanks for dropping by. We'll play that game for sure, though.
The church's.
I'm totally down.
They keep a close
I'll buy it and
eye
download it.
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant. Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
Why don't you respect Lumir?
That's my business. You needn't concern yourself about that. I won't tell you anything.
Come now, Father. I'm not just asking out of curiosity. This is about all the dead girls. Isn't it written in Scripture, speak up for those who have no voice?
A layman quotes the Bible to me. Fine. Lumir accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Kuttenberg.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumiere. That man has gone completely mad.
Into my yard. And I'm telling you that...
Be careful.
You're pouring it over...
Now, fellas. You're not going to squabble like children, are you?
Keep your nose out of it, all right? This slob here empties his chamber pot in my yard every day. That piece of yard is mine. And again, there's a fence, which has no business being there.
Can you explain to me what's going on?
This is dumping his shit in my yard. What don't you understand? Except the yard is mine. The fence is where it is for a reason. For the 1000th time, you saggy-balled whoreson. If you want to complain, go to the bailiff.
And I'm telling you, for the 1000th time, I have no wish to talk to the magistrate when he's your brother-in-law. I'd rather have nails hammered up my arse.
Keep fucking with me, and that's exactly what you'll get.
You think it's right to pour your piss pot over the fence? Even if it is your land? That kind of stuff belongs on a dunghill, doesn't it?
That's exactly what I'm doing. This prick put his dunghill there, and I begged him not to. My apples are crawling with flies.
Your apples are all maggoty because you're a shite gardener, you prick.
Look, how about this? You let him dump his shit on your dung pile, and you give him some apples in return. Instead of bickering over that patch of yard, you can share it equally.
What? No way!
He's not getting my apples, not for anything.
If your neighbour isn't happy about where the fence is, I think you should try to work something out.
We are working something out, if you hadn't noticed. So stop sticking your oar in and let us get on with it.
You're both idiots.
And what's it to you, anyway?
That's the first sensible thing you've said all day. We'll teach you not to meddle in other people's business.
I'll kill you. Why did you do that?
Shame on you.
You want to try me?
No mercy!
Watch and learn. I'm all yours. Yield. Show. I'll rip your off.
Take that! Now you're in trouble. Show your stuff.
What are you doing?
Take it!
Show what you're made of.
Hey, stop fighting!
This is unbelievable.
Fuck you!
I hope he doesn't find anyone else.
Stop beating him!
That man! Why did he do it?
Jesus!
There's someone. Are you all right? What happened? Wake up!
You silly doggy.
What? Hell?
Just you.
Fuck this.
Hey! Did something happen?
The lads will help me get him. Fucker.
Innkeeper, what's taking so long?
Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdenna?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then, piss off. You won't get any answers here. All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Why so rash? That kind of attitude will do you no favours. Let's make a deal. You tell me everything you know about Zdenna, and I'll make sure you're no worse for wear.
Ah. You're the lord what that whore robbed. Don't worry about it. She weren't nothing but a lying bitch.
So, if I understand correctly, we can make a deal?
For the right price, I'll tell you all I know.
Is this the right price?
You fucking bet it is. Ask away and I'll tell you everything.
Where can I find Zdenna?
Aye. That's what I like to fucking know too. Last time I saw her... Well, that'd be back when she managed to fleece you.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to find her.
I can well imagine. Well, she went to Rabstein Mill. It's quite a long ways away. She had some unfinished business with some bloke called Pine. Ain't nobody seen her since then.
What can you tell me about Zdenna?
What do you want to hear? I try to keep her out of trouble, but there's just no helping some women.
So you were taking care of her?
Well, just in front of the others. Other than that, she did what she wanted. Always made her mind up and did things her own way.
So you weren't too fond of her?
Not really, no. But she did have a knack for making coin.
Did she have any friends or lovers who'd know more? Did anybody come here to see her?
Who come to see that bitch? She was always off somewhere, seeing someone. Although, once...
Someone came to see her?
Well, aye. Some stuffed frock came here once. All old and decrepit. He said he had some job for her. That she should leave behind her sinful life and all that shit. But he left empty-handed. She told him to go to hell.
Do you know who that priest was?
Some fucking Prokop or Pravoslav or some such shit. But that reminds me, I saw her a couple of times with another bastard. That fucking bard, William.
And could she have run away with this bard, William?
With that lily-livered fop? Well, he ain't been seen in town for some time, but I think someone was out to get him. He still don't come here no more. He plucks that loot of his in the miners' tavern. The wee shit.
What do you know about this priest?
Not much. Seems they knew each other from before. And he had some job for her somewhere. Serving as a maid or something. But she weren't stupid. She told him to fuck right off.
And did he go?
Aye, indeed. He didn't look like the kind of fella that had knocked some sense into a woman. I think he just told her if she changed her mind to come and see him. Or some shit like that.
And could she have changed her mind and gone to him? And that's why nobody's seen her?
No, no. She took off. I'm sure about that.
I've heard enough.
What do you need?
Did Estanya work here?
Stanya? Maybe. It depends on who's asking.
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me. The main thing is whether it's a good guest or a bad guest asking. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognise a good guest?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. I like talking to them kind of guests. A lot. So, what'll it be, my good man?
What if I simply paid you, and you tell me what I want to know?
Ask away.
I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did. And she don't know more. What's it to you?
I heard she disappeared without a trace. So I'm trying to find out if anyone had anything to do with it.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open. Everything emptied out. And Stanya was gone. All I found were bloody footprints.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer. Or is it time to pay?
What?
If you want to ask, you have to drink. Didn't you get that?
You're quite the extortionist.
I prefer to be called an enterprising man of trade. So, what'll it be?
I don't want to pay you any more. I think you could answer my questions directly and not always try to wheedle money out of me. That makes it look like you might have some motive for keeping me from finding out anything about that murder.
Nonsense. How could you think that? Come on. Ask me anything you want.
Did anybody see what actually happened when Stanya disappeared?
No, it was at night. Nobody saw or heard anything. The tavern tends to be empty at that hour. And you won't meet many people on the street, neither.
What was Stanya like? What can you tell me about her?
A bold woman. One has to be here. Everyone's ballsy here unless you nib it in the bud right away. She was hanging around a bard for a while. I don't know how close they were, but she also had another suitor.
Someone from the city?
No. A charcoal burner. I heard he was from somewhere in the, Verchlitz Valley. I think his name was Barton?
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He's a minstrel, a skirt chaser. What more can I say? He called himself William. As far as I know, he plays in the Miners' Tavern in the evenings. But sometimes he shows up here, too.
You think he might have been the one who...
Now that you mention it, he cleared out of town for a while and only came back not long ago. It could be him, all right. I know he met with some odd people and talked about God knows what. Like bloody spies. Besides, you know what minstrels are like. Lasses just flock to them. And like they say, opportunity makes the thief.
Or in this case, a murderer. Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean, more intimately.
Well, I got bad news for you. She had two close friends, but you won't get much out of either of them.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared. And she died. And the other one got married and moved away.
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open. Most of her things were gone, but some remained. And there was blood all over the place.
Blood? Was there a lot?
Not so much, really. More like hand or footprints. But they were near everywhere. If someone done her in, they definitely didn't do it in that chamber.
Where can I find this Barton?
I already told you. In the Verchlitz Valley.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. All I know is he's a charcoal burner. So if I was you, I'd look somewhere around the charcoal kilns.
That's all I need to know.
Here we are.
So, I went to see my brother, and to talk about the inheritance.
I'm sorry.
You're in need of money, friend.
Aye, true enough. I need to pay the tithe and give something to the church for my father's rescue match.
Isn't it a bit early for that? It's ages till St. Wenceslas Day, and they don't collect tithes before then.
You're right, but I promised myself I wouldn't leave it till the last moment this year. So, have you got any ideas?
Well, I did.
Greetings.
It's William, right? I need to talk to you.
What is it? Do we know each other? Do I owe you money?
My name's Henry, and no, we don't know each other, and you don't owe me money. But we do have something in common. We have a lot of mutual friends.
What? What do you want of me? I don't have to talk to you.
You don't need to. I can go and chat with the guards instead. Tell them you're the one hurting those girls.
What? I don't have anything to do with any girls.
Really? You? A notorious skirt chaser? Do you think anyone will believe you?
I just got back to the city. I don't know what you're trying to pin on me, but whatever it is, I didn't do it.
But everyone remembers you. You better spit it out before someone points the finger at you.
Come on. All right, then. Ask away.
Did you know Alice?
I know a lot of Alices. You have to be more specific.
The one they found dead somewhere below the town walls.
Oh, her. I didn't know her, but I heard about it.
I heard she used to go to dances.
Yeah, and? I'm not the only musician in the city. I really didn't know her.
They say she had a rich young suitor. Do you know anything about that?
Me? Do I look rich to you? I get paid in food.
But you could at least pass yourself off as wealthy.
Or I could claim to be the Virgin Mary, but I doubt anyone would believe me.
And did you ever meet Yarka? It was a long time ago, but I heard she used to hang around you a lot. And Father Prokop didn't like it.
Oh, that one. Aye, she was very keen on my company for a while, but then she stopped coming.
Because somebody killed her?
I know what happened was a tragedy, but it wasn't my fault. She stopped talking to me long before that. Honest.
And did you know she was pregnant?
What? Yarka was... That's horrible. Who would kill a pregnant woman?
That's what I'd like to find out. What about the unwilling father-to-be? It wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
What? Mine?
Tori.
I never even got under her skirt. We just flirted a bit. And then she stopped coming by.
And can you tell me anything else about it?
I don't know anything. It was a long time ago. You said so yourself.
And I hear you knew Stanya.
Which one do you mean?
The alehouse wench from the hole. I heard you had something with her too.
Well, she batted her eyes at me a couple of times when I was still playing there. A nice girl, but I didn't know her much.
Well, the innkeeper Mole told me a different story. He said you were the one coming on to her.
Fine, we had a bit of fun together. But she was always the one who started it.
And aren't you just saying that because she left you?
Oh, come on! I could have any woman, if I wanted. The innkeeper must have got it mixed up. He's an old drunkard, after all. If I was you, I wouldn't take him too seriously.
And what about Zdena? You knew her, right?
Do I know Zdena? As wild as the wind and always full of life. And those nimble fingers. You always had to check your purse around her.
Did she steal something from you?
A travelling minstrel doesn't have much to steal, but she was well aware of that. She was on the lookout for some better prey.
You don't happen to know who she wanted to rob?
There were lots. Anyone she thought was rich enough who let her ply her charms for a while. Like young von Groller. When he started coming here, she got to him right away. Said she was going to rob him blind. As far as I know, she didn't succeed. If she robbed a noble like von Groller, word would get around. Look, why are you asking me about all this? You don't seriously think I killed her, do you?
Well, you didn't know them all.
And? I'm surely not the only one.
That may be true. But everybody knows you're a skirt chaser, and they were all pretty girls. And now, they're dead.
But I had nothing to do with it!
So you didn't do anything to them?
No! Why would I? What would I get out of it? It doesn't make any sense. It goes against God.
You dare invoke God?
I admit, I'm no saint, but for Christ's sake, I'd never kill anybody.
Good. I believe you. But if any clue leads me back here to you, I won't give you a second chance.
You won't hear about me again, I swear to God. God bless you.
Ah, good day.
Excuse me.
God be with you, my friend. Saddles, reins, horse harnesses, the finest leather wares. Aye, take care.
Quick! Gah! Gah! Quick! Go!
Huh? Hey, it's me. Come over here. Hans double-crossed me.
How do you know?
I found out by chance. It wasn't just me that fell for that tale of selling wares for a tidy profit in Germany. He'd take people to taverns, get all friendly with them, then take all their goods and vanish.
How many people are we talking about?
I know of at least 3. But it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't a lot more of us.
It happens all the time. Well, you should report him. They'll catch him and give him what for.
It's already been done. He got caught with stolen goods somewhere. Then one thing led to another, and they found out he was involved in all sorts of dodgy business.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
I suppose so. But it made me realize how hard it is to trust anyone these days.
Not everybody's out to get you.
I hope you're not, at least. Sorry I mistook you for him. But you do look a lot alike.
So, chances are you won't be seeing your money from Hans again, will you?
I suppose not. Well, lesson learned at least.
I'd like to purchase something.
Take your pick.
Go! Ka! Ka!
Whoa! What good's about to you, for God's sake? What a waste of money.
Didn't you hear that the king himself announced that everyone should have a good bow on hand?
Which king would that be?
But when the king commands, you will say, "Ist doch scheiße. Did you really have to cheer her up like that?" My God.
Ja! Go! Go! I need to ask you something. I don't have time for that. Ask the foreman. You'll find... I'm looking for someone named Stanya.
You're in a charcoal camp, fella. What would a woman be doing here?
But you know Stanya, don't you?
Aye. You could say that. Why?
I'm looking for the killer of a girl in town. And I heard that someone also tried to kill this Stanya.
That's true. She told me something like that. But that was a long time ago.
So you don't know what became of her?
I really don't know, mate. But even if I did know, how can I be sure you aren't that killer?
I wouldn't be foolishly asking around for her then, would I?
Why not? How else would you find her?
Without getting seen by any witnesses.
What do you mean? What witnesses?
I mean you. If I tried anything, you'd remember me.
Well, aye, that
didn't occur to me. That would really be stupid of you.
I really only want to talk to her.
Sorry, but after all that happened to Stanya, I like to be careful.
So Stanya is here?
Aye. She's hiding with us. Since that thing happened, she's afraid to even go outside. I don't know what to do with her anymore.
Can I speak to her?
If it'll help you. She's hiding in that cottage, but be nice to her. She's in a bad way. She used to be such a gutsy girl.
Till we meet again.
Who are you? How did you find me? If you came here to finish what you started, I'm not afraid of you. I'll claw your eyes out.
Don't be afraid. Barton told me where to find you.
Barton sent you to me. What do you want from me?
Lumir thought you were dead. I was supposed to find out what happened to you.
Lumir? From the rat house. He sent you.
Exactly. Someone killed a girl in Kuttenberg. Lumir thought it might be connected with you, so maybe you could help us find out who did it.
How can I help you when I haven't been in Kuttenberg since... I don't even know when.
You disappeared from the hole in the wall without saying goodbye. Without a word. What happened?
Someone attacked me when I was coming home from the baths one night. I managed to get away, but I was so afraid. I decided to run away from Kuttenberg.
Did you see who it was?
Not at all. I didn't see anything until he jumped out of the shadows and grabbed me around the neck. And he was terribly strong. I nearly blacked out right away.
And how did you manage to break free?
I had an empty pitcher in my hand, and I hit him with it. He howled and let me go, and I ran away.
Here? To the charcoal burners?
No, first to my room in the hole. I was so scared there. I took what I could and ran. Here, to Barton.
And your lover? What did he say?
At first he was horrified, because I had cut myself on a shard from the pitcher and was all bloody. He's been hiding me here since then.
What was it like working in the hole?
Well, I earned a few groschen, that I did, but I often had to grit my teeth.
How so?
Every single day I had to put up with their lewd remarks. Rich or poor, everyone wants to grope a girl. People, well, us girls have to watch out. We can't just put up with it, and sometimes we have to be tough, especially in a place like the hole. But you can't overdo it either. That's no good.
How so?
Because if you smile at them nicely, then sometimes they leave a groschen, or even two. You have to keep a balance. To look friendly, but unavailable.
You said that rich or poor, they all like to grope girls. Like who?
Truth be told, the hole isn't exactly a good place for a rich man, but young von Groll used to go there for a while.
Is that so? Did he talk to you?
He smiled at me a lot, so I smiled back, but beyond a few groschen, there was nothing more to it. Then this thieving wench started hanging around him and... oh, it doesn't matter. But that servant of his didn't like it, tried to drive her away, and so the young lord stopped bringing him with him.
Von Groller had a servant with him?
Aye, a pudgy fella, well-dressed, but had a mean face. He never said a word or smiled, or even said thank you.
You walked home from the baths at night?
What's so odd about that?
Well, at night, the baths are...
Ah, right. I went there after closing. I always brought the girls a pitcher of wine or ale and took a bath while they drank it.
Ah. So that's why you had the empty pitcher you hit him with?
Right. I went there regularly. Every week.
The same way every time?
Aye, always the same way. The shortest one. I didn't want to stay out too long at night.
And who knew that you went by yourself to the baths?
Well, everyone from the tavern, I reckon. I didn't hide it.
Why didn't you go back to the hole?
Just to get murdered there? Are you mad? I'm never going back there. Not until they catch him.
How are you now?
I'm still awful scared. I can't fall asleep knowing that, and I can't even really leave the house.
Do you remember anything important about the attacker? What he looked like? What he was wearing?
I don't know anything. It was at night. He grabbed me from behind, and then I ran and never turned back.
And what about when you hit him? What did he do?
He let me go and cursed.
Aha, and what did he say?
He said Scheisse in German.
Seems you're the only one to survive the killer's attack. I know it isn't easy for you to think about it, but try to remember something else about that moment, or when you were running away. Anything can help us, even if it seems insignificant.
I don't know. It's all like in a fog.
You were walking down the street. Did you notice anything before he attacked you?
No, nothing.
You didn't see anything or hear anything?
Actually, I knew the side street wasn't empty. I heard somebody talking, but when I looked, there was nobody there. So when somebody grabbed me, I completely froze.
Did you understand what they were talking about?
Not at all. But there were two voices. Two of them waiting for me there.
It's difficult, I understand. But I need you to think hard one more time. Aside from those voices and the empty street, what else do you remember?
I didn't hear him at all. And then he grabbed me.
And nothing else? Did he grab your hair?
Well, no. He grabbed me by the throat right away and squeezed. Just for a moment. But I still had a big bruise round my neck for weeks. Barton said the man must have had a terribly strong grip. Like a miner or swordsman.
Couldn't it have been that innkeeper then? You yourself said he's a pig.
Aye, when he drinks, he turns into a total bastard. All lewd remarks and groping fingers. The lecher. Only when I got to my room, I could hear him snoring. Couldn't have been him.
Couldn't it have been Father Prokop?
Father Prokop? I don't know him.
No, he's pretty old. He preaches in the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul.
I don't know him. And if he's an old man, how strong could his grip really be?
I heard William liked pretending to be a spy. Do you know anything about that?
Aye, I thought it pretty silly. A stupid trick to make himself seem more interesting. Though I reckon he's more likely to attract an arse-kicking than a woman.
I reckon that'll be all.
I'm sorry I'm not able to help you more.
No, you don't need to apologise.
Thank you. Could I ask you for a favour?
If it's in my power.
When you catch that bastard, would you please let me know? So I can finally stop being afraid.
I'll stop by if I can.
Farewell, my friend.
Go! Quick! 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 Go! Ka! Go! Da! Da! God! Go! Quick! God! Go! God! God!
Whoa, whoa.
God! 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 God!
Whoa.
Bless you, sir.
Are you Pine?
I am. Why?
I'm looking for Stenard.
I don't know any Stenard.
Stenard said something different.
You're a friend of Stenard's, are you?
Actually, I don't really know him that well. He's the only one I know who knew Stenard. And he sent me to you.
Well, if he told you that, I reckon it's all right. He's not much of a traitorous rat, I reckon.
I wouldn't entirely count on that. So you knew Stenard? Can you tell me something about her?
I know Stenard all right, but she ain't been here in some time. Why are you looking for her? What do you want from her?
I'm looking for her... Back in the city, they think she's either dead or run off somewhere. And you're the last person to see her before she went missing.
Whatever.
What can you tell me about Stenard?
She always had it hard. She lost her parents and her home as a child. She had to learn to take care of herself.
And what about Stenard? How does he fit into this?
Stenard was her guardian angel, she used to say. If she hadn't been thieving with him, she probably would have ended up a whore. But by sharing with him, she could do what she wanted.
Uh-huh. I'm surprised she stuck with him as long as she did.
That's because she had a hideout somewhere nearby. That's why she'd come to me with her loot, before they taxed her on the spot. And the last time she was here, she said one more haul like this, and she'd be able to go wherever she wanted, to Prague or Vienna.
I heard she wanted to sell you some valuables. Is that true?
Oh, aye. She had a good haul. No rubbish. Mostly jewelry, rings, one signet ring with a coat of arms and everything. She left it all here. I paid her a pretty sum of coin. It was a good thing she had a basket with her, otherwise she couldn't have carried it all.
And what about that signet ring? Do you still have it?
She didn't sell me the ring. She wanted to keep it. Said it'd bring her luck someday.
Do you know what kind of luck she meant? Did you recognize the signet on the ring?
No, I didn't recognize that signet. But all the while, Stenard was giggling to herself. I reckon she had her eye on another mark.
Where did she go next from here? You said she had a lot of coin on her.
That she did. She also had a feeling someone was following her. Someone on a horse.
Someone followed her on a horse from Kuttenberg. Did she say what he looked like?
She didn't. At first, she thought it was some wealthy lord out for a ride. But he held back. Never passed by her and...
And did you see him? Did he come all the way here?
No. But Stenna thought he would show. She even left her scarf here and paid some girl to walk around with it to make it look like she was still here.
And then where'd she go?
She wanted to go the back way, through the woods, so nobody could follow her. Past the woods is a road and a ford across a stream. Next to it is a huge boulder. When it rains, the water can rise fast. The road goes on to Kuttenberg.
Well, if it leads back to the road and there was really someone following her, I reckon if they saw she was long in returning, they could have waited for her at the ford, no?
Fuck! That's quite possible. I made a point of looking, but I didn't see any riders that day, so I forgot about it.
Is Denna's scarf? Do you still have it?
Aye. I wanted to give it back to her the next time she came.
Will you give it to me? I'll try having my dog track her down.
All the same to me. Here you go. But it's been a long time. I don't know if it will help.
And could it have been Father Prokop following her?
What do I know? If he has a horse and fancy clothes. But why would he do it?
I heard he wanted to find her an honest job, but she wasn't interested.
I don't know. She didn't say nothing about that.
And could it have been William?
And who would that be?
He's this bard she was seeing.
I don't know about that. I don't remember her mentioning nobody by that name.
Well, I'll go and check out that ford. Maybe I'll find something there.
I hope you don't. Farewell, sir.
Here, mutt.
Look what I have for you.
There has to be that ford Pint was talking about. I should take a look around here.
Track.
Poor thing. She didn't get very far. Ugh, she's been lying there a long time. At first glance, this body isn't as mutilated as the others. Unfortunately, I can't tell if somebody strangled her like the others. She's been lying here too long for that, but her head is smashed in. Either the murderer hit her with a rock, or dashed her hard against the ground. She must have put up a fight. Or maybe he lost his patience. Oh, she's all stuck to her clothes. They're torn up, but I don't see any cuts. The rips are odd. Like someone was looking for something. Oh, I can't make much out by now. But it seems as if the fingers on her right hand are broken. Did the murderer torture her? Or was he trying to get something out of her hand? Oh, my God. Oh, something fell out of her. A signet ring. Oh, that must be the one she stole. But how did it get inside her? Did she swallow it herself? Or did the murderer shove it in there? Was she trying to hide it? Or was it punishment for stealing? Well, that's enough. But what does it all mean? I'd say she put up a decent fight, and the killer had to improvise. And that's about all I can find out. She's probably been lying here a few weeks. But that ring is a good lead.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to ask about another thing.
Ask away.
Well, I'll go and check out that fort. Maybe I'll find something there.
I hope you don't. Take care. God grant you health.
God bless you.
God,
I found out some interesting things.
Trent,
what the heck?
I'm so sad. I was all freaking pumped. I was like,
you got all your hopes up for no reason.
I was like, no way. Is that true? I was just so happy. Freaking screwed now. Freaking screwed. Freaking screwed, Trent.
Oh, those murders. Just like you said.
That's wonderful news.
I'll share my
But wait a
thoughts in
while.
a second.
I promised Catherine we'd wait for her.
You know Catherine?
She came to see me soon after you did, and started asking me questions. Just like you.
Will you send for her? So, we're all here.
I hope nobody else shows up. How did it go?
I reckon I've found out all I can.
And do you know who the murderer is?
Not exactly, but I have a few ideas.
I've asked around a bit, and I have my own suspicions.
Is that so? See, I was trying to recall some more details, and I had someone come to mind as well.
I didn't do all this for nothing, did I?
Well, I
Well, who do you suspect now?
Well, I'd say William did it. The minstrel.
You can't be serious. He's innocent.
Uh-huh. And who do you think it was?
Prokop. I'm sure of it.
No. Really? That's impossible. It couldn't have been him.
So I see we disagree. Too bad. We could have been done with it quickly.
Well, who do you think it was then?
I'm not entirely sure. First, I'll tell you what I found out, and then it might be easier for us.
Go on then. Starting with who?
Let's talk about Yarka, the one raised by Father Prokop.
What did you learn about her?
Prokop didn't just raise her out of the goodness of his heart. He was actually her uncle.
Really? But he still could have killed her.
His own relative?
Why not? He's a priest. I'm sure he knows the story of Cain and Abel.
Prokop also admitted that he didn't know how to handle her, and perhaps he was too strict.
What do you expect from a Bible thumper? Man punishes and God forgives. It never occurs to them that if man didn't punish, God wouldn't have to forgive.
Well, maybe I wouldn't hold it against him. He really tried to make sure she was well taken care of. He wanted to find her a husband, too.
And did you learn who he found?
No. I think it fell apart when Yarka started rebelling. Yarka started working for the von Grolle family, where she remained until her death.
I was there to ask whether she'd given them any trouble, but they said she was always thorough and reliable.
Ah, so what's the story with von Grolls?
A very wealthy and important family. The mother is quite devout, known to spend a lot of time in prayer. Old von Groller's been sick for years. Can't even get out of bed.
So, who runs affairs?
That would be young Hendel. They say he's quite successful.
Before her death, I heard she often went to dances.
There's nothing wrong or surprising about that. But maybe she found someone there.
Maybe. Prokop was convinced that she went to see William. That was actually the only name he mentioned.
That doesn't mean anything.
It means she had some relationship with William, or at least knew him.
And now, most importantly, Yarka was pregnant when they killed her.
I didn't know that. Do you know for sure? So they gutted her?
To make it impossible to tell she was pregnant? I wouldn't be surprised.
May God forgive us.
Do you know who she was pregnant with? Because if we know who the father is, we'll likely know who the killer is.
She didn't tell Prokop.
I'm in a murder mystery right now.
It had to be...
Freaking murder...
Gary?
Mystery.
Someone from those dances. Maybe William.
Prokop is convinced that she was murdered by that bard, William.
And I agree with him. I heard the daughters of important men come to see him. It even went so far he had to flee the city. And the moment he's back, there's another murder.
Really? But I found out you accused Prokop first, Lumir.
What? Why?
It doesn't matter. It was a mistake. And I paid for it.
And were you as sure then as you are now about William?
I don't think so. But he's a skirt chaser. If he got Yarka pregnant, then...
Perhaps. But why would he kill and mutilate her? He could have just run away.
But then he could never come back.
Why not? He could come back a year later, once things have died down, the child would be born, the shame forgotten, and nobody would bring it up again.
I suppose that makes sense. That's all I was able to find out.
You still found out more than I did.
But it's not enough. We still don't know who the killer is.
But we can agree that she was killed because of her pregnancy, can't we?
Agreed. Somebody got rid of her to make sure nobody found out she was pregnant.
I'm sure William wanted...
William isn't the only man with a prick. And he certainly didn't use it to strangle her to death.
Such language. What are you trying to say?
That William isn't the only man in the city. It could have been anyone. And now we'll never find out.
I'm not saying it couldn't have been him, though I don't think it was. It just seems foolish to only focus on him.
I suppose you're right. Let's forget it.
I managed to find Stanya.
Alive? You found her alive?
I did. Alive and well. Hiding with the charcoal burners.
I go into the bathroom
she's
and guess
not
who's
one of our
peed on the
victims?
seat?
She is.
no.
She did.
You.
Oh
Me?
my gosh. Here we
Yeah,
are.
well-
Tell the stream, Ange. I'm just quiet
Pee
now.
all over the seat.
How'd you know it was me?
I don't think Nash has gone in there in a while. Wasn't me.
Could have been Emmy or Banks. Did you roll
Well, I
them
don't
out
have a
yet?
wound. Could have been Banks.
Down
You're right.
by
I picked
the
you
Banks.
when there's two other boys in this house.
That's right.
Down by the banks where the watermelon grow. I don't know why I always think that song now.
Managed to escape the killer.
Oh my
She said she was
God.
attacked on her
I
way home
shall
from the
not
baths.
go.
She heard somebody
Or
talking in
if
the
I
side
do, I'll
but it was
find
empty.
pee on the
And when she
seat.
walked by, someone grabbed her by the throat and started strangling her.
And how did she
It's my
manage to get
rendition.
away?
She was holding an empty pitcher, and she smashed the killer in the face with it. He either got startled or hurt, but he let her go.
Did she get a look at him? Did she take his eye out or something?
Torn and
She
Jace
didn't
don't
stop
play?
to find out. Just ran.
Tell her,
She
Trent.
probably
You saw the
watched her survive.
text. You
And
read
what
them.
about the
You're
blood
just
in the bedroom?
throwing salt
Cut
in
her
the
hand on the
wound.
broken pitcher.
Do you want me to text them?
She didn't stay in her room for long.
Yeah,
She was still
text
so
Dara.
scared that she grabbed her
Do you want me to
things
text
and
their
ran off to her
wives?
beloved
Text
charcoal
Dara
burner.
and Jace and all them.
I'll start a group chat.
Do it.
She said she returned
What
from the
the F,
baths in
guys?
the evening regularly, and somebody knew
What the
exactly
effing
which way
F?
she would take and where to wait for her.
You mean someone followed her beforehand
Ties
to figure
on
out
right
where
now.
to ambush her?
Who knew that she went to the bars?
Apparently, everyone in the tavern.
Alright,
hide
wish
the
me
fact.
luck.
Good luck.
Oh, you're gonna do it?
No.
Oh. Wow.
I don't need to be yelled at by people
Frick.
that are good at yelling.
Well, according to Stanya, the murderer had a terribly strong grip.
I just meant wish me
almost a
luck, so I'm gonna
month.
go ride the bike.
Doesn't almost every man have a strong grip?
Depending on what
So,
they take in hand
boy.
every day. A tankard, a quill, or a hammer.
Except none of our suspects are miners or blacksmiths, eh? She also said she was sure it wasn't Mole. He may be a pig, but the evening she ran home, he was in bed snoring. According to Stanya, the murderer didn't say a word the entire time.
That's strange, right? I'd expect him to at least call her a whore.
The only word he uttered was when she smashed him in the face with the pitcher. He said Scheisse.
So, we're looking for a German?
Even I say Scheiße sometimes, and I'm not German.
Besides that, she also recalled hearing two voices in the alley. Someone was talking to the killer.
So we have a witness. Now, just to find him.
Or an accomplice? If I remember correctly, the other one must have seen the whole thing, right? And he didn't go to report it.
I asked Stanya if she knew Prokop. She said no.
Maybe she just doesn't remember him. Or he gave a different name, or...
I don't think Father Prokop is the type to frequent the worst tavern in Kuttenberg.
Stanya admitted that she knows William. He flirted with her and tried to get to know her better, but nothing came of it.
And that's probably why I wanted to kill her. And likely rape her before that.
Well, perhaps, but Stanya doesn't think so. She's sure it wasn't William, and no matter what they say about him, in her eyes he's a good lad. And that's all that Stanya told me.
I'm so glad that girl is alive.
Me too. At least someone's had a little luck. Does she want to come back, or will she stay with the charcoal burners?
I don't think she'll come back. She's so scared now they'll come back for her, she doesn't even leave the house. I managed to find Zdena.
You found her? Is she alive too?
No. Unfortunately, she's dead.
And where did you find her?
Pretty far away. Near the mill she used to sell things at. Someone caught her in the forest when she was coming home with a load of coin and killed her. I reckon she put up a hell of a fight. So the killer got nervous and ended things quickly.
So he didn't strangle or mutilate her.
She'd been lying in the woods for a long time, so I couldn't really tell. But he definitely didn't hack her up like the others. Judging by what her accomplice said, she robbed someone good. She had so much jewellery on her, she could hardly carry it. And what's odd is when she was murdered, the killer left her basket of valuables behind.
So I reckon he didn't kill her for the money.
What you doing?
Who's that? Oh, Thor.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah.
Thor.
It's me, Floriak.
Welcome.
Bet you're wondering why I joined this Discord.
Do you have tea?
What are you guys doing? TFT is all you said?
No, I'm just playing this Kingdom Come game. I think I'm done with Anniversary, honestly. I think I'm done.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
It's just not... I don't know, I just feel like I'm not going to have a good time with it anymore. I was a DPS warrior. I mean, it was fun doing DPS, but... honestly, I was looking at the gear that I had to get. I had to look at the time I had to put into it. And it just didn't sound fun. Honestly.
I'm also thinking about saying fuck it. I don't really want to pay 500 gold a flask.
Yeah.
Exactly what I said.
Let me show you what I just sent Trent this freaking thing too. Alright, I'll just send you what. I mean, it's like just a screenshot I sent you, Trent, about the flask prices.
Yeah, it's insane.
How much it?
That was the other day.
I'm sure it's even worse now, bro. They're controlling the market, man. The bots and stuff, they're buying out the Black Lotus. Like the gold sellers are buying out the Black Lotus.
Right.
And they're just keeping the price high and slowly offloading them.
It's literally so trash.
Blizzard is doing absolutely nothing about the botting situation.
Nope. Like, I don't want to spend, what, that's almost 300 gold a week to raid.
Well, then there's all the other stuff you gotta buy too, so it's closer to 400 or 500 gold.
Yeah.
It's stupid, dude. I joined a really good guild, and I like the fact that I can speed run, like help them speed run, but I just rather play Kata, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to play flippin' Mists now.
Dude, Kata's so easy to jump in and play. Like, if you get bored, man, just come do some dungeons with me.
My guy's level 75 right now. Trent,
Nice.
you're like, what, 84? Almost 85?
Yeah, I hit 84 last night.
Dude, I'm telling you, you can jump almost straight into Dragon Soul. It takes about a week and a half to get Dragon Soul equivalent gear because of the catch-up mechanics. It's pretty much they took the idea for Sod from this.
Is it just like, is there like new dungeons that dropped or something? Or
Yeah,
like...
the dungeons drop the raid finder stuff.
Oh, okay.
So you can literally get like raid finder equivalent geared in like a day.
Oh, dang. I didn't know that.
If you go hard.
I look at all the gold I need to spend for raids. I need to look at all the gear I need to get as a DPS warrior. And I was just like, man, okay, so I have to, like, what, 8 hours a day for the next 4 weeks to get all my
That's what
honor
I'm
gear?
saying, man. Like, I can raid on Kata. I have 3 85s now. Well, I'm almost 85 on my DK. Do you know how much I made gold this week off my characters? I did a GDKP off 1, and the flasks are free. Like, the guild drops a cauldron.
Jeez.
And they drop a beast. Like, so raiding is literally free other than your repair bill. The only thing that's expensive in Kata is like the gems and stuff, but that's just that. I mean, that's expensive, and all that shit's expensive in Anniversary too, enchants and stuff.
And then another thing I was looking at as a DPS warrior, I was like, okay, there's 4 things out of all of BWL that I need, and I have to roll against freaking the whole
30 other
guild,
warriors.
like 30 other warriors for those 4 items. That will probably
30
never
warriors
drop.
and 5 rogues and.
Yep. There's no way. And then I wanted the daggers really bad. I wanted Perdition's Blade and freaking Corehound Tooth. That was kind of like the only thing that made me want to keep going. But this guild, which I totally understand, like I'm not complaining about it, but it just I was already like down in the dumps. And then this was just also like a nail in the coffin. They were saying
If I wouldn't have quit, would you have stayed, do you think?
Probably.
I feel bad now.
Nah, don't worry about it. Because it was gonna happen anyway.
I just
It was
could
gonna
not
happen.
stand those people, man. I literally just like hated, like I didn't hate them, that's a strong word, but I strongly disliked the people that I was helping build a guild.
I mean, I'm not too worried about it because it's gonna happen anyways. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, it really. I don't know.
Are you quitting too, Larry?
Yeah, I haven't played since 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was so sick of the gold issues. That's what made me quit the most. Is I looking at flask prices and I'm like, I'm so tired of looking to get 300 to 400 gold every week just to raid.
Yeah, that's
like I have to get it.
Unless you want to treat the game like a 9 to 5 and like spend a ton of time farming gold, it's like you have a second sub, dude. You have to buy gold. It's like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, so I'm just like tired of it. I don't want to deal with that. Like I've done MC a lot in the last 4 years. Like I know what MC is, I know what BWL is, like, and fighting over the same gear with every single caster isn't fun for me anymore. I'm just like, I've got one piece of gear out of every MC we ran, so I'm like, yeah, I'm just done.
And you went off a roll. You got lucky.
Yeah.
Wait. You got one piece of gear that whole time?
One significant upgrade. I got a couple Arcanist pieces that really don't mean anything, but one significant piece of gear I got. In 9 weeks. It was rough.
Yeah, bro, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
I mean,
my list just, for everything I put on my list just never dropped.
And it sucked too when we had to finally pug that last time. Freaking
Choker dropped, and it would have been mine, but because we pugged, it wasn't mine.
So just like a lot of nonsense like that happened too. So, yeah. Totally felt that. 100%.
honestly, them not putting GDKP in the game was a super horrible idea.
It kind of ruined, yeah.
It ruined the game, in my opinion.
It's fine in SOD because there's a lot more ways to make gold in SOD, or there was. And now, in regular Anniversary, everyone's just screwed. Everyone has to have a mage that farms all these dungeons over and over and over again, but I'm tired of doing that. I can't do that anymore.
Even if you, like, would have stayed, I don't know how long I would have stayed anyway, because, yeah, freaking, the gold is just too much. And then now I have to farm 8.
I'm not going to spend $10 extra a week to play the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do what you have to do right now.
The guild I'm in, like, they're requiring everyone flask. I'm a freaking hunter, bro. There's no reason to flask. There's a reason I rolled hunter. There's literally zero reason to
not even a good flask for you.
What you want?
What did they make you run? Titans?
They can try, but I'm gonna be running. If I'm running a flask, I'm definitely gonna be running a freaking wisdom.
Oh, that makes sense. That's what I would pick if I were you.
Trent, what are you on right now?
What am
I might go do BWL a couple times. because we're only required to flask for 2 weeks. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's still annoying.
I'm sitting in my character selection screen, chat. I'm watching the Race to World First right now. This is just insane.
Yeah, that new raid looks awesome.
It does look pretty cool.
Which raid?
The new
Undermine
raid in retail.
Oh, I didn't know that was...
Came out this week.
Let me put that on really quick.
I wish I would have played, but I'm just too invested in Kata right now.
I know, I don't want to put in the effort to do all this in retail.
Honestly, bro, I've been having so much fun with with Kata. I don't even really care. Dragon Soul is like, I don't know. I love it, dude. I'm having such a blast.
Yeah, I'm just, the more I think about it, the more I want to play Mists, honestly.
Oh, 100%, dude. That's the whole reason I'm back on Kata. I'm probably going to be on this version of the game for the next, like, year.
Who are you watching, Trent?
I'm watching Team Liquid on Twitch.
Oh, Liquid's sweet, dude. I have a buddy in Liquid.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Cool week aura. It's a very cool week aura. Just giving the extra indicator for where they would need to start their
He doesn't ever raid with them on their progression, but he is like on their like third raid team or something.
That's cool.
He's not like a god or anything.
That has to exist, you know?
But he's better than me.
Yeah.
Better than most.
Yeah.
Having an arrow over the Scrap Masters as a weak aura, but it's just convenient and it makes it a little easier. I mean, that would be
Dude, I don't even know what's happening.
I know, it's really hard to follow, but it's just like, there's so much going on. It's crazy.
Dude, not even gonna lie. I came back to Kata and I felt that like, cause like these raids are hard. Dragon Soul's a hard raid on heroic. We cleared it on heroic this week. Bro, I'm like a fucking noob again, bro. I'm parsing like 75. It's okay.
Yeah, having to do mechanics again is hard.
Yeah. I mean, Mop's gonna be hard. I mean, people, like, they don't really know how hard Mop is. Mop's really hard. I remember back in the day, dude, like, Siege of Orgrimmar, that's a rough raid.
I remember Siege of Orgrimmar doing that for transmog runs.
The one-shot mechanics in this game, they'll piss me off.
I know, that stuff is just... That's why I love Classic so much, is because it's easy. But then
I love Classic too, man, but I don't love the Classic community.
I know.
Like, the Classic community just kind of killed the game for me this time. Like, requiring hunters to flask and healers to flask, there's no reason for that. Like, honestly, like, the people who are in dad guilds, they're the ones that are freaking doing it right. And then, like, the other part of, like, the other part of it is the fact that, like, it's only a year.
Right.
So, like, they're not even gonna have any, like, significant progression.
I just don't feel like spending 8 hours a day for, like, 8 days a week. You know what I'm saying? To freaking get High Warlord. To get my
Honor
bits.
Navy.
I pulled one of those like 5 years ago in Kaladesh. It's an invention.
I'm not doing that shit. No way.
If I want to get all my best gear as a
It's the
warrior,
only way to get gear as a warrior.
that's what I have to do. And I do not want to do that.
What are you laughing at, Jack? Just chuckling.
And then they said I couldn't get, they weren't going to give me the daggers over tanks and rogues. And I was like, I understand that, but like, or the Core Hound Tooth dropped. And it was on my BIS list, and I rolled like, hey, it's my BIS, whatever. But they didn't want to give it to me, which is fine, I get it. But the tank was tanking. They're like, hey, you want this? He's like, I don't know, it's not really. He's like, it's good, but I don't know if I want it. Yeah, just give it to me. I'm sitting there going like, bro, that's such a good dagger for tanking. And then after a raid, he's just like, I just really don't like tanking with daggers. It's like, bro, it's been so fun for me. That was like I had a blast. Anyway.
How do they know it exists?
Yeah, man.
I just
I don't
got
know. I think TBC. I might give her a go again, but stop
That's
at
what I'm
Rocky.
thinking.
Yeah, same.
I think I might come back for Burning Crusade just because it's different. I haven't done Burning Crusade as much as I've done Classic.
To be honest, though, like Burning Crusade's gonna come out like right in like phase 2 of Mop. I don't know, man.
I know, we'll see how Mop goes at that point. If I'm really into Mop, then I'll probably just skip it, but...
That's kind of how I am too.
I just know I'm gonna be into Mop. Like, Hada has sucked me back in. And I liked Mop. Mop is my second favorite expansion of all time.
Didn't get to play it, so this will be my first time. So I'm
It'll be your first time playing it?
Yeah, I didn't play it the first time around.
Same here.
Cool. I think Mop to Legion is like the tipping point between retail and what it is now. I mean, like retail and Wrath. Mop still feels good, whereas like Legion still feels good, but then you get to like BFA and the game starts to feel really saturated, and I don't know.
I really liked Legion too. That was my first expansion back after I quit in Kata.
You quit in Kata?
Yeah.
How come you quit in Kata?
I just stopped playing in Dragon Soul, then I went on my mission, so then I came back and just didn't play for a while.
Oh, nice. Where'd you go on your mission?
Southern California.
Cool.
Nothing crazy. 6 hours down the street from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that pretty hard for you not to go home?
Not really. It was just funny because like I remember my mission president was driving around with me one day, and he's like, "You do realize you're about 4 hours from your house right now?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "So you could just meet your parents halfway in Blythe and have lunch and come back home and no one would know." I was like, "Thanks, President."
That's so funny. Your
I think he was trying to tell you that you could do it.
I know he was like hinting at it, like it's a possibility, but like I was like, probably shouldn't do that.
Dude, my cousin got caught on his mission. He flew home.
Flew home?
Yeah, on the weekend. So he flew. His companion was, I guess, cool. Apparently not that cool because he tattled on him. But he flew home, saw his ex-girlfriend. I don't know what they did, and then flew
you know
back.
what they did. Anyways.
And then he flew back and got sent home.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because apparently it wasn't the first time. Because like the first time he didn't get sent home. I don't know, dude.
That's so funny.
My brother stayed on his mission longer.
Settings that make it so when you press the key down, you can say, I actually only want to push the key down 40% instead of the full 100% or something like that. And you can set up a curve on the key to change that.
Yeah, it's actually super nice for a couple different abilities. Like for Smite, that thing has to go down like 10% to activate.
Huh, that's weird.
But if I'm gonna hit,
cool.
Yeah, but I'm gonna hit like I don't know, evangelism or something like that. I gotta press.
My brother went to New Jersey.
Why does that make a difference? How does it make a difference?
Well, if you're used to spamming it, but
Dang, Josie.
He loved it there, but my brother's kind of a city boy like that. I'd hate that.
My F1 key is my barrier key. Then I need to press it all the way
I hated Illinois.
to activate.
It's actually pretty convenient.
So you gotta be committed. But there's plenty
Chicago is a shithole.
over the F1 key.
I've never been, but I've heard that.
And so I want to make sure I press it all the way
I
down.
will never go back to that place. I hated it there.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Pretty cool. Does it have to be vengeance? Or can
I remember sometimes.